Today I'm going to take my favorite tool and combine it with one of my favorite foods from, my new favorite cookbook. We're going to make a cornbread, skillet cornbread, which they call cornpone. Well, what Vivian calls cornpone. And I'm a northerner, so I do what I'm told when the southerner calls it cornpone. Ready? Here we go.
Make, fix, grow, cook. GardenFork.
So, first thing you got to do is we want to get our skillet whomping hot. This is, ooh, don't put that on the glass. That's a bad thing. When you put a pan on the glass, bad thing. 10-inch skillet. So if you're ever wondering, just measure them. You can measure them across the back. Sometimes that's a little easier. That's a 10-inch skillet, cast iron. This goes in there, and we want it hot, like hot. This is my new favorite book. Vivian Howard has a show on PBS called A Chef's Life. I think you should watch it. I'll link in the show notes here to watch that on PBS. You can watch it on your Apple TV box if you want. But she put out this mammoth book about Southern cooking, Carolina Southern cooking specifically, and with some of her own twists on it. But I love cornbread and cornmeal in general, and she has her mom's cornpone, which is this in the center picture here, and it's basically a thin skillet cornbread. They call it cornpone. Obviously I'm from the north, so I don't know all these things, but I'm attracted to anything that is cornbread related, has bacon fat in it, and is cooked in a cast iron skillet, because as you know, I have way too many of these. I got a bunch of videos about how to restore these too. This one is all stripped, ready to be seasoned. It feels really cool. This is a seasoned one. Got a couple of videos about how to do that. Links are below and at the end of the show. So while it's heating up, let's make the batter, okay? Okay, the oven is just about heated up. So I gotta look at the ingredients. All right, 2.5 cups of cornmeal. I mean, what kind? That's another question. I got yellow cornmeal. Yeah, basically a medium ground yellow cornmeal. 2.5 cups of that. And then to that, we're gonna add 1¼ teaspoons of salt. Should I just show you the dump and stir thing? Hold on. So that's 1 1/4. This is like watching paint dry, isn't it? It's very exciting. 2 teaspoons of sugar. In the South, they don't use a lot of sugar in their cornbreads. Us Northerners use a little more. And then 1 2/3 cups. Oh, sorry, you gotta mix this all together first. The salt with the cornmeal. Mix your dry ingredients before you're adding your wet ones. Note to self. All right, so this is pretty wet. How's that for a batter description? But it's just cornmeal, salt, and sugar, which is a very Southern thing. A little bit of sugar. A lot of them don't use any sugar in their stuff. And then water. Water works. Interestingly, the secret ingredient here is bacon fat. You don't have to use bacon fat. You could use butter, or if you want to make it vegan, you could do a vegetable oil. 1/4 cup of bacon fat, which I find hard to get out of a thing like this. So I use a tablespoon, and it's 4 tablespoons equals 1/4 cup. So we're gonna have 4 tablespoons of this, but this doesn't go in the batter. This goes in the whomping hot cast iron skillet, which is in there. All right, the key here is to keep this thing really hot. So we're gonna throw the grease in, put the batter in, throw it back in like that. So keep it hot. I can feel it hot just from here. Oh, it smells like bacon. All right, so that's melted. Now we're gonna dump in the batter and then put it back in the oven there. And simple, you know? All right, so Vivian's instructions say you want to get that grease over the top of the pan, over the batter. So I'm gonna just move this around and use my spoon to grease the bacon fat, the flavoring agent, over. Okay, that's covering a lot of it. That's probably the best I can do without messing this up, but then that's what Northerners do, isn't it? We don't have to comment on that, okay? So the aroma of bacon fat and cornmeal are in the air, and you're wondering, what are the Labradors up to? They're right over there. Looks good. I don't know if you know it, but GardenFork, that's me. I have an audio podcast too. It's called GardenFork Radio. I'll link to that below the video here. You might have to click that little down arrow. There's a bunch of text will expand. And that's kind of Eric's world. There's an email newsletter you can sign up for. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and whatever social media is popular whenever you're watching this. This is almost done. But anyway, check that out below the video. All right? Oh, neat. All right, this is really hot, okay? Hot means hot. So we're supposed to flip this. Oh, I don't know if I can flip this. This isn't working. So I'm trying to get underneath it. Wow, there's not really a delicate way to do this. Hold on. So it's kind of hard to hold the camera and flip this, so I'm going to put the camera on the tripod. There isn't really a graceful way to do this, so it smells great though. Oh, that did not work. I don't think I cooked it long enough. Maybe the skillet wasn't hot enough. Well, let's put this in the oven and see what happens. One of the mottos on GardenFork is embrace failure. This is a failure, but we're going to make lemonade out of it, all right? I don't think my skillet was hot enough, but we're going to cook this and see what happens. I mean, that's kind of the beauty of life is oops and move on, right? So let's see what happens. So that didn't look like that, but let's just cook it up and see what happens anyway. But if you want to check out her show, I'll link to the book. You can buy the book below. It's massive, and just the stories, I think, are really kind of inspiring, in addition to the recipes. But let's cook this, see what happens, all right? Well, I don't know. Let's see what happens. This is kind of hard to hold up, but let's take a piece of this. So the bottom could be cooked better as well. It basically looks, I think it's underdone. What do you think? Yeah, that's undercooked, but let's try it anyway. Let's try an edge and see what that's like. This is kind of hard to hold up and talk at the same time. It's corn. It's like corn forward. Is that a word? It is now. Ideally, I think this toastiness is supposed to be across the whole top of the thing and the bottom. Maybe my oven wasn't hot enough. I think the skillet, I had it out too long while I was running the camera and putting the bacon fat in there maybe. If I put the burner on underneath there. What do you guys think? What did I do, or what could I do better? Have you made this before? Let me know in the comments, because I always learn from you guys. So, but again, we learn from this, and I'll still eat it. It's not perfect. Of course, I'm a Northerner, so I think immediately that this should have maple syrup on it. But Vivian Howard might be aghast at that. But she has a great book. I'll link to it below, and her TV show, which is on PBS and on their app. It's kind of like GardenFork. She makes mistakes, she learns, and I'm inspired by her. So I'm inspired by you guys as well, because you watch and you comment, and we just do stuff, right? So make it a great day. I'll see you later.